Attention, internet, network and multi-level marketers, stick to the plan, it's just that simple. I will repeat it again, stick to the plan. For so many people, and I'm going to use myself as the perfect example. Because I did the same thing. We tend to start something and then we get discouraged because it's not working. So what do? Either we just shelf the whole project or we try to fix it ourselves. Which just makes matters worse. Both options will lead to failure. Well, the first option is failure, because when you shelf something, you put it aside and, like they say, out of sight, out of mind. So in other words, you just quit. Now the other option. Fix it ourselves. Well, let me give you a little story deeper and deeper. Not too long ago, my wife and I set out to venture off on some new mountain bike trails. Now this is a 28-mile-long trail, start to finish. Within this trail, there are 3 different difficulty levels. 1 is the main loop being the easiest, 2 is the double diamond, and 3 the triple diamond, being the most difficult and dangerous. The diamond trails branch off of the main loop, then they rejoin the main loop at some point. So my wife and I like to stick to the intermediate, double diamond, level or less. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is a 28-mile trail. So if the trail is 28 miles, imagine the size of the state park that these trails are in. However, it is all mapped out and the trails are all marked. So if we follow the path, we shouldn't have any problems getting to the end. All we have to do is follow the path. It's just that easy. Wow, I've heard that before. Now my wife and I are doing fine, following the path, sticking to the double diamonds or less, and at this point we are well over 20 miles. All of a sudden we run into a few other bikers. These guys knew what they were doing and going at a good pace. My wife and myself are now trying to keep up with these guys, but little by little they got further and further away from us until they were gone altogether. But now the trails are narrower and the hills are steeper, higher and deeper. All of a sudden I go down, and I went down hard. Now my wife just loves to see me fall and give me her little giggle along with an, "Oh, that's what you get for trying to be Mr. Macho and ride a triple diamond." And as I look up from the ground, there it is, those 3 little blue diamonds in the tree. And as I look at this trail, it wasn't getting easier. And my wife says, "You're nuts if you think I'm riding that trail." So, we backtrack to the next trail. Okay, now we're safe, and we're going. But now the trail is much wider, and my wife asks me, "Shouldn't we have finished already?" And that she hasn't noticed and trail markings. Of course neither did I, but I didn't want to say anything. But now I have to open my big mouth and say, "Nah, don't worry about it, I know where we're going." Yeah, right. However, we finally found a marking on the tree, but we weren't on a bike trail anymore, we were on a horse trail, and I can hear traffic. Needless to say, we were lost. And when we finally came out of the woods, we were 3 towns over from the finishing point, and it took another hour and a half to get back to where our car was parked. The moral of my story is that the mountain bike path is a planned and charted road. From beginning to end, and the people who complete those trails are the ones that thoroughly follow the path. This is why we must stick to the plan. And if you get off of the path for any reason, don't make your own trails or try to fix it yourself. Go back to where you know that you are on the original path or plan. Many of us get involved in home businesses that have great plans, but we think that we know better and end up making things worse. If we want to become successful entrepreneurs, we should do what successful entrepreneurs did. We have to stick to the plan. Because these plans have been written by entrepreneurs that have been where we are now and are where we want to be, and also know the exact way to get there. So no matter how long it takes, if you stick to the plan, you will reach your destination. One more time. It's just that simple.